Hello, hello, hello. This is Coach Vic back again with Finding Your 40, and I'm glad to be back with you. The last segment we talked about resiliency. We talked about the giant, the California giant redwood, and and its ability to withstand and endure the 4 seasons, and still continue to produce fruit. Today we're going to talk about adversity and the building, and I talk about a lot of different sports. I talk about um, hero movies. I love watching Marvel comics, and I love watching DC comics. I'm a big fan of Batman. I told you that before. So we talked about the cave. We talked about the lab, and all the things that go along with that. But today we're going to talk about the villain adversity, and the biggest villain that we have in this particular program is not anybody outside of us. It is our thoughts. It is our ability to be able to overcome the mindset and that we have going into the program, going into what we want to do, wanting to be better and wanting to grow stronger, wanting to look at situations and have a different mindset and react differently and understand exactly what it is we're trying to do. And so today, the biggest villain to our progress, the biggest villain to our growth, the biggest villain to our change, the biggest villain to our reaching the championship level that we desire to reach is not anybody or anything outside of us. It is us. It is our willingness to move forward. It is our willingness to push into new atmospheres. It is our willingness to put ourselves in new environments. It's our willingness to expand our horizons and to grow and to be uncomfortable in that. And until we can learn to overcome us, to overcome our own selfishness, to overcome our own comfort level, to overcome our own desire to be able to continue to strive to move forward, to push past the pain, to push past the circumstances, to push past scenarios that make us feel uncomfortable or weak, to push past all those things and move into the place where we need to be, the place we desire, and be willing to grow and take on more responsibility, take on more opportunities, to be willing to be comfortable being alone. We talked before about loneliness and loneliness and singleness. And I'm gonna put that video back in the comment section for us to be able to continue to go back to that, because we have to be willing to be able to classify ourselves as being singled out, for the sole purpose of getting better. And it's not about being the only one. It's not about looking at ourselves and thinking that we're the only one doing something, or that someone is picking on us, or whatever it is. It is simply we have a desire to grow, we have a desire to expand, we have a desire to get better, we have a desire to go forward and move into our greatest version of ourselves. And so for that reason, we are singling ourselves out. We are putting ourselves away. We're moving back into a cave environment, so we can continue to thrive, so we can continue to get better, so we can continue to learn about ourselves, so we can self-actualize and get to that place where we're able to overcome challenges on our own. Without having to have somebody help us, without having to have somebody to talk to, without having to have somebody encourage us. We have to know how to encourage ourselves. In the Bible, it talked about how when David took the men, and they were going out to Ziklag, and they were going to fight with the Philistines against the enemy, but the Philistines turned away their help because they didn't trust them. And so, when they got back to where they were dwelling, they found that all of their wives, their children, and all of their possessions had been taken. And so the men wanted to kill David, because they lost their wife, they lost their children. But it says that David encouraged himself. And then David prayed and asked God, shall I go after this troop? And if I go after them, shall I recover all? And God says, yes, go after them, and yes, you will recover all. And this is a conversation between David and a higher authority. And so we have to understand that it wasn't between David and his best friend. It wasn't between David and his pastor, or his teacher, or his advisor, his spiritual advisor. It was between David and God. And so and whatever you want to call God, you want to say higher source, you want to put it whatever name you want to put on it. Nevertheless, it has to be that you have to learn how to dwell within yourself. You have to learn how to reach within yourself. You have to learn how to dig deep within yourself and begin to pull those things out, so that you can uh, depend on you. You have to know what you have inside of you for every situation. And this is why I talk about boxing so much. This is why I talk about track and field so much, because ultimately the ultimate competitor, the one that you're facing the most adverse, the one that that you're gonna go against in the most adverse circumstances. It's not anything or anybody outside of you. It is what is inside of you. What makes me? What makes up me? What am I made of? What am I thinking when situations become desperate? What do I say to myself? What am I saying to myself? What am I listening to? What am I bringing into my environment that's going to make me either better or worse? And so ultimately, when we get to that point, when we get to the point where we have to depend on ourselves, when we have to depend on us waking up in the morning, we depend on what we do in our free time, what we're taking in, what we're reading, what we're talking about, what we're writing. Can we trust ourselves to be by ourselves? Can we trust us enough to be alone? And this is why adversity is so important. It's so important for us to face adversity head on. It's so important for us to have a mindset to overcome adversity, because before we can overcome anything outside of us, we have to overcome the enemy within us. The enemy within us. The enemy within is the one that we're most concerned about, because that's the one that's the most dangerous, the most detrimental to our progress and to our mental health, to our psychological well-being, and to our mental profiling. And so so in the process of going through this, we have to know ourselves. We talk about the art of war. And the art of war talks about know thyself. It says know thy enemy, and it says know thyself. Know thyself, because thyself is thy biggest enemy. Thyself is thy greatest enemy. Thyself is the one that is going to keep you from progressing into the next levels, and moving into the stratosphere and places you want to go. And so in that. When we look at a lot of these hero movies, there's always this place of self-realization where the hero has to look in the mirror and say, "Am I going to do it?" And I remember watching Rocky, and I think it was Rocky 3. When Apollo Creed is helping Rocky to train against fight Clubber Lang for the second time, and they get to that point. There's a point when they're on the beach and Rocky's running, and he stops running, and he just starts walking. And Apollo's like, "What's wrong with you?" He says, "I'm afraid." If it gets to that point, he's like, "I'm afraid." And it's not that he was afraid of losing the fight. He was afraid that he's afraid of losing everything that he had worked so hard for, and losing his legacy, and losing and becoming a no one again. Sometimes we get to that point where we acquire a lot of material things. We acquire a lot of material value, and we require a lot of accolades and pats on the back. And so we're afraid of going back to that place of nothingness again. And so we tend to get to a point where a comfort level where we don't push past that, because we're afraid that if we fall this time, we're going to fall further than we climbed, than we're able to climb out of. And so we don't depend on ourselves anymore. We don't see ourselves the same anymore. We don't have this. So we don't hold truth to the same values anymore. And so we become comfortable. And so we begin to lose our will to fight. And that's what happened with Rocky. Is he lost his desire for the fight, because he had become comfortable with where he was and who he had become up to that point. And so we have to learn how to fight past and battle past the adversity of what our inner self is telling us, so that we can move into a place where all of us is able to grow, where we're able to grow mentally, where we're able to grow physically, where we're able to grow spiritually, where we're able to grow psychologically. and have a mindset that's going to allow us to evolve into a growth mindset that's going to make us, that's going to help us to become better, because no matter where we are in life, no matter what we've attained, no matter what we've obtained, no matter what level we've attained to, there's always an opportunity for us to grow better and be able to turn around and help somebody else to grow and become better as well. And so in that, this adversity that we're going to face, the adversity we're facing, when it comes time, when the challenge, because it's going to be a challenge. Waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning is a challenge. But what happens is, and even when in my own processing of this program, I began waking up earlier than 5 o'clock. And so I began doing things other than the program before 5 o'clock. And what I've learned about myself is if I have too much time to do anything, I will stray off into other things. and I don't know about you, and I can't talk about you. I don't know exactly where you are, but for me, if I don't set my mind right, if I don't set my schedule, if I don't actually label my focus time, and say, okay, and tell myself, okay, it is 5 o'clock. You have to start doing this. You have to get up. I will lose track of time, and then my day starts later than it's supposed to, and I start putting things into my time that aren't supposed to be there. I find myself running late doing things that I already planned out and I already scheduled myself to do. And so today, the adversity is we need to challenge ourselves. Can you continue to be consistent when you become successful? That's the adversity. The adversity is not becoming successful. It is being consistent after you find yourself successful. After you begin to have success, whether it be limited or whether it be expansive. Can you continue to be consistent? Can you continue to walk in the trueness and the character that you're developing as you're going forward? And then this is the thing. What happens? It happens with superheroes all the time. They get the pat on the back. They become comfortable with what they're doing, with who they are, and eventually they end up having to battle against themselves. Redefine their will in order to move forward. And so today, I'm going to challenge you like I challenge my own self to even when you find yourself becoming successful, even when you begin to lose weight, even when you begin to get stronger, even when you begin to get better, even when you begin to find success in certain areas of the job or in life, in your relationships, continue to be consistent, continue to walk forward, no matter what happens, because in that success, we find comfort, we find peace, we find joy. People pat us on the back, and we're not used to having that level of success. And so what happens is we end up becoming comfortable, and then in that comfort, we end up losing our edge. And we become afraid of losing what we've attained or acquired, because we think that if we go further, the chips we're going to fall, and we end up developing a fear of losing things we've never had before. And so today, I'm going to challenge you, as I'm going to challenge myself, continue to be consistent, no matter what level of success you're at, no matter where you find yourself going or growing. Continue to do what you did from the very beginning, so you can get to where you're trying to go. Just because you find some success does not mean that you have attained to where you want to go. We want to reach and exceed our goal, and then make new goals and climb higher and higher each and every time. And so consistency is the key, but we have to battle against the adversity of success. And whether it be small success or great success, we have to continue to improve, continue to work hard, continue to strive to be better each and every day. About consistency. And then that's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're talking about. Who we are today: the consistency in adversity, consistency in success, consistency in growing and moving forward, and growing past the levels of success that we experience. This is Coach Vic. This is Finding Your 40. Thank you for sharing, and subscribing. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I didn't say that in the beginning, but thank you for all the new subscribers. I really appreciate you all subscribing. Really appreciate you all watching the channel and continuing to encourage. And I ask you to continue to send me emails, continue to allow me the opportunities to grow myself and be able to give you fresh content each and every day. Continue to be successful. Continue to strive to be consistent in your success. and every day. Act like the day before never happened, or journal your day before, so you can have building blocks to continue to reach your milestones. And when in the end of all of that, you're gonna see that you're gonna be at a greater level than you ever even imagined, because you've been consistent, fighting through adversity to be consistent as you find success. God bless you. Have a good day, Coach Vic. Finding your 40, and till next time. See you later.